Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. We're back on part 2 of our swamp trees, and I got some sludge here. It's just black and brown paint with a little bit of water in it. And I'm hoping it's gonna be good for my trees. Got too much paint on my brush. Let me get some cardboard. Cardboard. And what I'm doing is just painting these trees this dark brownish black color, hoping to give them a good, and I'm not even getting into every crack, man. I'm like super lazy painting this, but I'm just hoping to give it a good look on each one. Naturally decayed and not doing great wood. Now, I painted these in Mod Podge after I crafted them, and then I spray painted them black, and I let it actually sit in front of the fan and dry, and went upstairs and did something else for a while instead of trying to not let it cure at all like I normally do. So let's hope it works out better. La 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 la. Do 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 do. I need some music. Come on, come on, come on now and paint me, baby. Can't you see that I have not been painted? I should have been painted. I probably could have done all this off camera, but then you wouldn't have seen how fun it is. And it is actually fun. It's nice and relaxing. Just doing a lazy paint job on these trees, just the way I like it. Lazy as all get up. That one looks pretty good and done, I think. I hope. Now, if you do a really good job coating this, with this, you'll have to come back with a wash most likely. But if you're lazy and you don't get everything, you probably won't need a wash when we're done. Now, I only crafted one of these in the video, but you can kind of see it was the same process, just with some variations here and there. I didn't do anything new or different. Same techniques. I just didn't feel like making you guys suffer through the almost hour and a half it took to make these 4 trees. And it really didn't take that long. I was doing other stuff and messing around, so it took me about a half hour to make the first one, I think. I'm not sure. But the other ones went much faster. Much faster. This is that one I made in the video right here. This one. I was playing Fallout 76 in the meantime while I was letting this dry. I'm not sure if I'm having fun playing it or not. Sometimes I just do stuff just because I do stuff. My little man was painting. He's making his own Bodak, but it's like size huge. Super scary. That's my youngest. He's 7. Size huge Bodak. La 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 la. La 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 la. I paint everything that's in my shop. Let me tell you about the tree I'm painting. Can't you tell that it's brown and black? Alright, I think we pretty much hit everything we need to hit. So let's set that off to the side. Let's set that cardboard out of the way. Let's get our hot air gunner burning. Alright, let's see here. Let's set these off to the side and let's do these one at a time. I'm going to do 3 of them one way and 1 of them a different way. The reason I say that is because the one I'm going to do to look more like a, I think I'm going to try to make it look like a birch. Alright, so the first thing I need to do is get a medium brown. Melted chocolate would do it if I could find it. Of course, I can't find it. Melted chocolate. There we go. And all we're going to do is get a pretty big sized makeup brush. Something like this from the Dollar Tree. Okay. And we're going to just drag it along and hit some of this to lighten it up, but not all of it. We're just going to hit it in some spots. Okay. Something like that. We don't want to go overboard with that, okay? We're going to do that to this one too. And we probably won't need to get more paint. Just doing these 3 trees because we don't want to really change the color too much. We just want to create some highlight areas that are going to be noticeable as an undertone for the paint, for the last dry brush we do. Then we're going to do this one like that too. Okay, I was wrong. We will need a little bit more paint. That's all right. All right, this should be good. And now this one, we're going to do this one a little heavier with it. And we're going to lighten this tree up significantly in an attempt to really bring it down. So we're going to hit it with this first. We're going to try to lighten it up some. Now, it's going to be significantly lighter than the other ones, I'm sure. Okay. We're going to set that brush off to the side and move this cardboard. We're going to air gun these real quick. Sweet. Alright, so for these first three, we're going to get the cardboard back out. And that same dry brush. I don't have to change brushes for this. And we're going to get a medium to light gray. I'm using elephant gray if I can find it. Okay. So we're going to get a little bit of this elephant gray here. Okay, we're going to get a lot of that off the brush. I mean a lot of it. And then, which one's the one we're doing? I guess that's the one we lightened up. Okay. So, something like that. You don't want to put too much. You just want to make it look like it's not in great form. We want these to look crusty and rustic. Not rustic. I don't know what I'm talking about. Crusty and something. Okay. And another big one here. Yeah, we just want these to look gnarled and a little rotted, a little saturated and dead. When I say saturated, I mean like they've soaked up too much water to where they're not working, doing what trees do anymore. They're not producing any kind of foliage. All right, so I'm going to set my brush off to the side for a minute. I'm going to set these three up here. Let's get that one we lightened up. Now I'm going to get a little bit of that gray, a little bit more. I want to lighten this one up pretty significantly. I want this to look much, much lighter than the others. Okay. Yeah, something like that. Now I'm going to get a tan color. And that tan color I'm going to get is called khaki. I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to put this right on top where that gray was. I'm going to grab a little bit of that. I'm going to mix that in. And then just turn around and get a lot of that off the brush. And then I'm going to lighten this up again. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it look like it's instead of being like an oak or something like that, I'm trying to make this one, and I know the roots look more like those swamp white oaks that you see online, but I didn't think about it when I was crafting them. So I'm just doing this one a little bit different and trying to make it look a little bit more like a birch that's gone bad instead of a oak. I'm just trying to make it a different color, just to create some variation in my terrain and be a little interesting. And I wish I would have thought that when I was crafting, because as I was looking, the birches are more like this, which was what my reference art that I drew was, where they're all kind of like, it's like a warped, horrible, big, thick thing, because it's like pulled, the bottom of the tree is like pulled up out of the water, kind of. But that's not what I did, so. Okay, that's much lighter. I'm going to set this off to the side. So for our trees here now, for the bases here, we're going to use water and a brush. I mean, not water, blue paint and a brush. And the color is going to be Admiral Blue. Let me get a little bit bigger of a brush there. Make this quick. There we go. And I'm just pulling it out to the edges quickly. Trying not to hit my branches or my roots. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. We're going to do that to all three trees. Let me pull my camera back so you can see what I'm doing here. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you missed a couple little spots, I think it'll be all right. Remember, I'm a lazy painter. I am not in this for the speed or for the perfection. I'm in this to get some nice stuff on my tabletop that makes the fights interesting and gives off that theatrical vibe of what it's supposed to be. And you could even make a backdrop. Maybe we'll make a backdrop for our swamp too, to put up behind the terrain. That might be nice. Let me get a little more paint in my cap here real quick. Pardon me, holy crap. We gotta keep this video quick because it's pretty late at night. I stayed up messing around and letting this stuff dry naturally instead of fighting it with an air gun. I guess we don't have to hurry. I don't have anywhere to be in the morning. I could sleep in if I want. But I won't. I'll still be up at 5 something because that's just what I do. And then I'll be tired all day like a dumbass. I can't take naps. 1, because I have small children. And 2, because I get this like weird sense that I'm wasting my time when I sleep too much. Like if I accidentally sleep in on a day off, like till like 7 or 8 o'clock, I feel like I've done something terrible. Like I only have so much time to do all my work stuff and all my video stuff and play with the little boys and help them do their crafts and spend time with Mrs. Doom, and I just have only so much time. And I panic about it. It gets me all worked up. Remember, if you get a little bit of paint up on there, on the roots, it won't kill you. We'll fix that somehow. I'm not sure how. All right. Get a piece of plastic here. Get a little bit of water. Getting a little bit of this ivy green paint here. I'm just going to squirt a little bit in that water. Okay. I'll mix that up. Get it on here in some of these deeper spots. And if I see any metal anywhere, because sometimes when you're doing tinfoil, you get a little bit of metal showing through, like right there. If I see any metal, I'm going to hit those spots, okay? And I'm just going to kind of put it in some of the deeper grooves and some spots that might look okay. Get some more water in there. There we go. Okay. Any little deep holes might look nice in there. Put it in there. Getting over water. I don't want it to become overwhelming. I want it to kind of stain green and look greenish, but I don't want it to become like vibrant and sticky outy and noticeable that I at least I don't think I do. Maybe I do. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm sure there's moss growing up these or on these or algae or something, you know. Something's doing something. Here's that light one. Let's get some around here. Let's kind of drag this. Let's get this whole side kind of going down on this one. Like it's growing up. It pretty real. Pretty hardcore. This might be older and deader. We don't know. We don't know. We weren't there when this happened, so we can't know for sure. Okay. But you got this covered pretty good with that. You can set that off to the side. You can grab these. You want to get your air gun. And you want to kind of dry everything off on the base there. Doesn't have to be perfectly dry. You just want to get a good bit of the base dry. Alright, now we're going to go back and get that brush we just had in that green. Okay. Get a little more water. Then you want to come around and you want to create some variation on this basis in little irregular spots. If there are any spots where you have like the paint was a little thick and it didn't dry easy from that blue, you can just drag this around in there and clean that up. Just like I'm doing there. That way it'll kind of go with my swamp board that I have. By having a little bit of variation and not being real boring and plain. Need more water. There we go. Okay. Let's set those off to the side. And we'll do this one. Okay. No problem. Okay. I think we're good. As good as we're going to get. All right, let's get these back here and let's hit them with the air. All right, now let's get going with the vines and stuff. So all the foliage on these trees is likely dead, but we can do vines, and using this Spanish moss, or not Spanish moss, what is this? Floral moss, I think it's called. We can just do that real easily. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get a little super glue going, okay? And we're just gonna get a dab of super glue right there. Oh. We're going to push that down on there and let it dry. Let me get a toothpick to manipulate things a little bit. Okay. We're going to do a couple of those on each one to simulate that there is life there, even though the tree isn't growing properly anymore. Okay. And then what's good about this is this stuff has all kind of different degrees of brightness and tone. And you can kind of just stick it where you want it to go. And then you don't have to worry about it. Now, if there's any shiny on here from the glue, don't sweat that, because oh, shit, I knocked one of the pieces hanging off. I don't know where it was hanging at. Where were you? Right there? Oh, stuck to my finger. That's all right. Don't worry about that, because when you hit the clear coat, when this is all dry, that shiny will go away. It'll kind of all be the same color. This one looks like it can hang right over this tip right there. I'm just going to get a little bit of glue. Boop. And that's your permanent home now. That's where you live, Mr. Peace. Mr. Peace. And then I'd like there to be one up here, kind of sticking off the top of this. I don't know how sturdy that's going to be or if that's going to stay, but we could try it. There we go. And if it doesn't stay, it doesn't stay. Good thing is I bought this like 15 years ago and I haven't run out yet. Now I have a kind of a bigger area up here I want to cover, so I'm just going to get this kind of big piece and work it around in here like that. And I'm really just going to glue it in a couple spots. I think it's going to be okay. Okay, there we go. And that's its permanent home now. I'm going to move you over here. I'll bring you out here and do a little more level view. So this is actually pretty fun, this part right here. Except for the fact that I got super glue all over my hand. That's my fault, though. My fault. There we go. Get up here. Boop. That's where you live now. And a little bit right there. Just a little dibby dab of super glue. Let's take this last one here. Try to get a good chunky piece down in here, maybe. Let's see what we can do. Let's get this and shove it down in this crack. We want to kind of open it up. There we go. We want to stick that up there. Just like that. Okay. Now, we have to do where the bottoms need to be fixed up, and there's a couple of little things I'd like to do also. So let's get rid of that. Let's grab a small piece of cardboard or something. Oops. I dropped my soap down over the side of the cliff. Okay. Let's get that. I'm going to wipe my desk off real fast once I find a rag. Just because that glue will stick to everything. All right, we're going to get a little bit of white clear glue here. Just a little bit. Look at that, Sweeney. A little something had to be pulled off the end of that tip. By the way, I make these videos for everybody, but Sweeney's in the Discord, and he comments a lot, so I know he's watching. So when I have stuff that's kind of like a joke between me and him, it's pretty, like, it's just, you know, I'm joking to him. But if you guys are feeling left out, just let me know in the comments, and I'll tell you to go to hell. Okay. So now, on some of these kind of flat top areas, I would like to add a tiny bit of flock. Not a whole lot. I'll just do one tree at a time. And I'm just going to do a pinch of flock with my fingers and just sprinkle it. Just like that. A little bit there and a little bit there. And where was that other spot? Up here. Okay. And then if any of it gets down in the wet down below and stuff, I'm not going to sweat that. It can dry there. It can fall off. It won't hurt me either way. So now I'm just going to do some of these other kind of, pardon me, areas. And this is a good way to cover up any aluminum that's showing through too, is with this. You could do that. Okay. Pardon me. Holy shit, I'm dying over here. Now this one's got a lot of flat area up here we can play with. We can just kind of get up there and get a little bit of glue. You know, if you had some Italian seasoning and hit it with a mortar and a pestle, or put it in a really good food processor, I bet you could get some really good looking swamp crud like that going. I could be wrong. I think I've used it in the past, is why, for stuff like this, is why I'm thinking about it. I think that's what I did. Is I just mortared and pestled some old dry. Because it's not like super green, it's, you know, kind of faded and dead. All right. We can hit these with a little hot air. Let me get my brush in the water there because I don't want it to dry with that glue on it. All right, let's see what we can do here. Let's see how we did on our swamp trees. All right, let's hit them with the hot air gun real quick. Just to knock any loose crap off. I think on some of these, where's that red crap? You might be cool to do something down by the base. So I'm going to get a little bit of this, just a tiny little bit of this stuff I used earlier. I'm just going to get a little bit of glue down here on the base, just like that. I'm just going to shove some of this on there to make it look like there's a plant there. Just to add a little variation in color is really why I'm doing it. To get something that kind of sticks out and doesn't look so boring. I'll do one on here too. Just somewhere, maybe there. Nah, there. I'm just gonna get a tiny dab of glue. Try not to get a spider web. And push that down on there. There we go. Sweet. Now, if you still have a bunch of wetness, it's a little bit unbearable, you can just kind of come around and tap that a little bit, soak some of that up. It's better to use an old t-shirt or something. I just don't have a piece cut small enough to do that right this moment. And we're just about done. Now we have the spots where we got we got a little bit of blue on the wood. So we're going to come back to this original color here. And we're going to get that little thin brush. Okay. And we're going to get it wet. We're going to get a little bit wet. Get our piece of cardboard. There we go. Make sure that's good and wet like that. See how it's kind of is dragging around super wet. We're just going to get that in all the spots where we got that blue. We're going to come back with this and just touch that up and hide that. Just like that. There. And you can do that on each one and hide anywhere you got the blue and any spots that you don't like to. This is a good cleanup tool. And say like right here, where I got a little bit of that blue on it, I'm going to drag it up a little bit too, like that. All right. Get a little bit more going here. Looks like we got a little bit of blue there. We got it on every tree. It looks like terrible work, son. Terrible. Fucking embarrassing. Excuse my French. That was actually not French. But if you don't know better, I'm not going to teach you. Okay. And if there's like a weird transition there where you didn't really get it on there, but you don't like the way it looks, you can clean that up too. Nice. I think I'm going to drag some of this up onto this just because I want to. And I'm going to get a little bit up here because I want to. Sweet. All right, I'm going to pull this camera down. Let's take a look here. Let's set these trees out so we can get an idea of what we got. It took us about 40 minutes, but I'm not unhappy. Sweet. So there's the trees. That's our swamp trees, guys. And obviously, you know, when these dry, I'll clear coat them, take them upstairs, get a shot of them, and post the videos. But in the meantime, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment, go to the website, buy some minis. If you can't, that's okay too. We won't judge. Join the Discord. That'd be sick. Hang out with us, play games, play video games, RPGs. Show us what you're crafting. See what our people in there are crafting. I'd love to have you join our little family we're building. It's real nice people. All right, see you next time.